People want you to live in your mistakes. People don't want you to get over the mistakes that you made. People want you to wallow in your misery. We all make mistakes. Everybody's going to make mistakes. It's not about the mistake. It's about the response. It's not about the mistake. It's about the response. This generation loves to wallow in their sorrow. Like Juice WRLD said, F living, I'ma drown in my sorrow. There's a quote in the Bible that I can't quote it off the top of my head, but it goes like, the sad man who sings sad songs is like someone pouring vinegar in their soda. It makes no sense. It's not necessary. You're not making it better. You're not making it better. This world wants you to drown in your mistakes. And it's easy to do that. The best way to get over guilt is small accomplishments, small achievements, doing small things that help you get over that. It could be super small, like making your bed or taking your dog out or whatever, having a goal and accomplishing it. That is the best way to get over guilt and shame. Do not look for other people to get over guilt and shame, because other people are going to guilt and shame you the most. It's crazy because people are bringing stuff up that people did 10, 15 years ago and trying to say that that's them. This is your identity. One mistake you made. I don't care how bad the mistake was. You got people who murder people. That's bad, but you're not that. You can overcome that. That's horrible, but you can overcome that. That's something that you got to deal with, and the people that you affected have to deal with. But eventually you're going to have to get over it. You're still here for a reason. You still wake up for a reason. Eventually you're going to have to get over it. It's super easy to drown in your sorrows and not get over it. A lot of people are sad that they're not happy all the time. You should not be happy all the time. There's no such thing. Why would you want to be happy all the time? Happiness is a feeling. Happiness is an emotion. Happiness is passing. It's fleeing. It's forever fleeing. It's a chemical state in the brain. It's not sustainable. The people who are chasing happiness all the time are the people you see in the streets, or the crackheads, are the people who are super addicted to substances, addicted to food, addicted to pornography. Those are the people who are chasing happiness all the time. You shouldn't chase happiness. You should chase fulfillment, chase purpose. Find something that gives you fulfillment. It might suck in the process doing it, but you'll feel better afterwards. You'll get a sense of contentment, and that's much more important than happiness. Happiness is here and it's gone. You should never chase happiness. The people who are chasing happiness are the people you see in the streets, are the people you see obese because they can't stop eating, because they're chasing that chemical feeling of happiness. Get over it. Get over it. Find a way. Sometimes you got to get savage. Sometimes you got to get mean. Sometimes you got to say, hey, you did something bad, get over it. Sometimes you need a backbone. Sometimes you need to get on your own self. Like, hey, yeah, that was messed up, but hey, I gotta do what I gotta do. Sometimes it takes having a sense of pride, or just knowing that it wasn't that deep, that you're gonna have to get over it, because in the grand scheme of things, it probably wasn't that serious. If you zoom out, you probably got a microscope on it, but if you zoom out, you will see that it's probably not that deep. Give it a year, give it 2 years, give it 3 years. In 3 years, will you be worried about it? Ask yourself that question. At the end of your life, the problem you're worrying about right now, will that be relevant at all? Will you care? Probably not. Get over it. Find a way to get over it. Whatever that is, small accomplishments is the best way to get over it. Set out a list of things to do and complete them all. And you'll start to see over time that your shame, your guilt will disappear. The energy that you're beating yourself up with is the energy that you need to recover. The energy that you're using to tell yourself that you're a bad person is the energy you need to recover. Is the energy you need for those small accomplishments. Is the energy you need to heal. Never let somebody's opinion keep you down, because if you listen to somebody else, they're always going to find your faults. They're always going to find your flaws. We all are filled with flaws. It's easy to focus on somebody's flaw. You can be the best person in the world, most accomplishments, but we can find something you did or something you said 10 years ago and act like that's your identity. That's what people like to do. In order to ignore that, you need a sense of self-love. You need a sense of self-gratification. If you constantly look for other people for that, then that's going to backfire. It all makes sense. It all makes sense why we look for other people for our validation. It's just how our brains work. That was good. That was beneficial all those years ago. We were in a hunter-gathering society where we're in tribes, where the people around you have to trust you. You needed their validation to stay alive, but we're in a different world. That validation is what fuels social media addiction. That validation is what has girls being half naked on Instagram, or have dudes flashing money they stole for validation, for attention. That is going to lead to your downfall. That is going to backfire on you. Stay away from people who are constantly putting themselves down, who like to drown in their sorrow. Stay away from those type of people, because that's contagious. That mindset is contagious. It's so easy for a month, for half a year, for a year to go by. You haven't made any progress because you were beating yourself up. Stay away from those toxic attitudes where people just love to be depressed. I would say this, I struggle with emo music. I love emo music, emotional. It's very pessimistic, but hey, that's my vice, and that's something that I accepted. Find a way to accept things that you can't change. Oh, a wise man once told me that there's some things in this world that you cannot change. There's some things about yourself that you can't change. And hey, that's one of them for me. I love pessimistic music. Don't beat yourself up over the things that you can't change. I tried to quit sugar for a while. It turns out there's some things that I just don't want to change. Some things that I would rather be with. Sugar is one of them. I like the occasional candy. I like the occasional cake. I like all of that. That's fine. Don't beat yourself up. I used to have the problem. I used to beat myself up like other people, like a lot of other people do right now. You go on a diet, then you make a mistake, and you beat yourself up over it. Now you're binging because, oh, you messed up. You might as well keep messing up. No, you messed up. Okay. Try a different tactic. Try a different strategy. Okay, you do this for long enough and you find out, hey, maybe I need a certain amount of XYZ to be content. Okay, then adjust. There's no point of beating yourself down over it. There's no point of it because it only makes the problem worse. It only makes the problem worse. I'm sure you heard that a million times. No point of beating yourself up, but really, really think about what that means. There's no point of making yourself sad about your mistakes. Maybe that's just a part of you. Maybe that won't leave you. Maybe you're going to keep making that mistake for the rest of your life. So would you rather beat yourself up over it or accept it? There's some things that you cannot change. Accept it. If you can't quit dairy, that's on you. That's on you. I can't at the moment. At the moment, I can't quit dairy. Yeah, I can't judge anybody. Accept that and accept the consequences. That's all you can do. You don't have any other choice. Never let somebody else's opinion determine your value. You're as valuable as you think you are. You're as valuable as you think you are. Your mistakes, that's up to you and God. Of course, if you hurt somebody else, you got to pay those consequences. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to get over it. You're going to have to find a way. You're going to have to find a way. In the Bible, it says, a man burdened with bloodshed will flee into a pit. Let no one help him. If you're burdened with bloodshed, you're probably going to flee into a pit. That's probably the right thing to do. You got to accept whatever consequences came with that. But eventually, you're going to have to get over it. No matter how heinous, I don't even know if I said that right, but no matter how bad the act was, you're going to have to find a way to muscle yourself out of it. I don't care what it was. Find a way to get over it. You don't have a choice. You don't want to beat yourself up, and the world is already going to beat you up over it. You don't want to be included in it because you can't control their actions, but you can control your own. Your brain is really the only thing you have control over. Your will is the only thing you have control over. Don't let this world turn you into someone who's pathetic. And pathetic means deserving of empathy. Don't let this world make you into somebody who everybody pities because you can't get it together, because you're too sad, because you're beating yourself up. That is not what you want to do. That is not the person you want to become.